All right, so it's a new day and we're working on a new door. The laundry room door behind me is our next target. Yesterday we got the master bedroom closet, the entry door into the master bedroom, and the entry door into Grant's bedroom done. And so today I'm going to start on the laundry room door, and then I've got the entry door into Reed's room and the entry door into the guest room. Once those are done, I'll probably go ahead and start working on the sliding door closets. I gotta put the jambs up and then put the track up. And then once that's up, we can go ahead and hang the doors, fit them, make sure that's gonna work. Then Amber's gonna paint them. We were able to use 2 sets of the original sliding doors. And then we ended up buying 1 set for Grant's room because his was never so equipped. So we're gonna be able to reuse a couple of those. Amber's gonna get those painted. But I want to go ahead and get them hung and trimmed if need be. And then we'll go ahead and get those painted and hung up. So got a busy day ahead of us. Let me show you the rough opening behind me, what I'm going to be working with on the laundry room. So here you can see the rough opening for the laundry room. And the different thing about this door is that we already have tile on the floor. So I'm going to go ahead and set my jamb up as high as I can against the header. And that way I can go ahead and clear the tile. And by my measurements, this should fit and the door should clear without trimming if I set it up high. So I'm going to go ahead and put some spacers underneath the bottom of the jamb there. That way we can push the top of the jamb all the way up into the top of the rough opening there. And my hope is that we'll be able to go ahead and clear with the door. Now we may have to trim it a little bit ultimately, but at least that way we'll be able to go ahead and make the door functional. Then once we get our final height on our hardwood floors and everything else, we'll be able to double check and see if we need to make any other changes. So this is the one I finished up with last night. This is the opening to Grant's room. So we got that one done. And then as I mentioned, the master and the master closet. Man, it's so exciting to see these doors going up because it's really starting to look like a house. It's really starting to finish the place off. It's been so long since we've seen any doors or trim or even walls in this place, so it's so amazing. It's really gonna be incredible once we get the hardwoods down. That's gonna make it look so finished, so nice. Cannot wait. But we're gonna go ahead and get all of our tile work done, our wet work. Gotta get all that stuff done first. You don't wanna be tracking mud and junk across your brand new hardwood floors. And you also wanna make sure your hardwoods have a nice tight line to work with on your tile. That way you're not trying to tile up against the hardwoods and so on and so forth. We're actually going to be using the what's called Schluter edge, and it's a metal edging that goes underneath the tile and gives you a perfect uniform straight lip to lay your hardwoods against. So that'll go here in this opening and then around certain parts of the tile and the shower surrounds and everything else. That will also get that Schluter edge. I used it on the tile in the laundry room here. You can see how nice and tight and straight that edge is. Well, that's because of that anodized aluminum Schluter edge. So that looks really good. It gives it a very nice finished look. It's better than trying to grout in between wood and other types of flooring, or trying to use some sort of caulk that has a similar color to the grout. This eliminates all those issues. So we're going to use those anywhere we have a transition from tile work to wood or other surfaces. All right, I'm going to get started on this opening here. First thing I got to do is trim away any drywall that's hanging over. You can see where they kind of left a little bit hanging over there. Just kind of clean the opening up, make sure there's no nails standing proud, and then I'll go ahead and get the door fitted in there loosely, make sure it's going to fit okay, and then I'll start trimming and screwing. Okay, so the laundry room door is done, and I'm going to move on to, I think, Reed's bedroom next, and then I'll tackle the guest bedroom, and that should be it for all the doors right now upstairs. We do have a few more to hang that we're waiting on the tile actually to get done for that, and then we'll come back and grab those later. Let me show you real quick what we got done here. Man, it looks so nice to have a door in here. We are making so much progress. I'm just stoked. Gaps all look good. Door swings well. Looks really nice. Let's close her up here so you can get a look from the outside. So there you have it. Okay, so moving right along here. I'm just gonna spin right around and work on this door next. So we'll get this one knocked out, and then lastly, I'll move on to the guest bedroom door. All right, so I'm getting ready to slide the door into the opening. One thing you always wanna make sure you do is get your hinge side good and plumb before you start sliding that sucker in there. And so what I've done is I found that, before I put any shims on this, that this side of the rough opening was a little bit out of level. So what I ended up doing was put my 6-foot level up against the opening, and then I slid some shims in here until I got it right where I wanted to. Once we've got it nice and level there, then I just put a little trim head screw right through the shim. So now that thing's gonna stay right there while I slide the door into position. And then when I'm ready to go ahead and put all the shims and everything in between there, they'll just go in right on top of that. That way we know we're starting out with a good plumb surface. And because of the way these doors were made, I've been having to use some larger shims. You can see I've got little pieces of 3/4 inch, and then I've got shims in between that and the rough opening. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and take, I've been using the packaging material off the bottom of the doors. This stuff here that kept the door casing together, or the door jambs together. So I've just been taking that down to the saw and chopping that off. So I'll go cut some pieces for both sides of the door, and then I'll set my door in place, and then go ahead and begin shimming it and leveling it and everything else with the rough opening. So I'm gonna go cut some pieces of stock, and then we'll get back up here and start sliding some shims in, get it locked in place. Okay, we got Reed's door hung, and it looks really good in the opening. He's gonna be tickled. And same technique, we use these shims that were screwed to the wall here, screwed to the rough opening, and then had to put a little shim on this one as well. This one down here didn't have a shim. And then over here, of course, we had to get the spacing even between the door and the jamb all the way from top to bottom. And then on the outside of the door, we had to get the spacing even with the stop all the way across. So that looks really good. All right, so one more door to go upstairs. That's pretty much all we can do as far as these entry doors. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this one sized up here, get ready to hang it. All right, as you can see behind me, the guest bedroom door is done. Looking pretty sharp, I must say. So super stoked that that's taken care of. I'm gonna do some cleanup here, cut off some shims, and just pick up and kind of move tools out of the way and everything else to make sure I got everything out of the way for the tile guy tomorrow. Then I'm gonna change gears a little bit. I'm gonna work on the laundry room countertop. We're using butcher block in there. So Amber took off a few minutes ago. She helped me carry that 100-pound slab of butcher block up here. So we got it in position. I'm gonna unwrap it and slide it into place and go and take some measurements on it and get ready to get that thing cut so that we can go ahead and get it installed and then cut out for our sink, get the sink hooked up, so on and so forth. So lots of progress made around here this weekend. Let's take a quick peek at the doors, and then we'll wrap up. All right, so here is the 6th and final door that we got installed this weekend. One that goes into the guest bedroom. And again, another nice door, nice slab, nice quality jamb work and everything else by Quality Woods. Real happy with everything we've gotten from these guys. So that looks really nice. And again, here's the guest room. Now these big guys are the ones that go into the bathrooms on either side of the house. This is the part of the house that was added on above the addition. So this was originally a block and brick wall that we had to cut through. There was a window here before. So once we cut through there, then we had this extra large, extra deep door opening. So Quality Woods made us these extra deep jambs to go into these doors. So it's gonna look pretty sweet. Have that door set back in that extra deep jamb. This one is for Grant's bathroom, so it's just hanging out in here for right now. This is Grant's other closet door. But again, really nice fit and finish on this door unit. I worked hard to make sure all the gaps are nice and even around the entire door. And all that's left here, again, is just to trim off the shims, double check everything, make sure we're all set, and then we'll be ready for our casing once we get the flooring and everything else down. So, looking good. Here's that slab of butcher block that I was telling you about. So it's 8 feet long, 25 inches wide, so it's going to give us a 1-inch overhang. It's going to look really nice against these cabinets. We're not sure if we're going to leave it finished natural, to seal it with some mineral oil, or if we're going to go ahead and stain it and polyurethane it. We're kind of leaning towards polyurethane because it's a laundry area, and we don't necessarily want to be folding clothes on a countertop that's got mineral oil on it for fear that it would soak into the clothing or whatever else you might sit on it. So we may go with stain and polyurethane just to make it very durable and long lasting. So I got to get slid into the corner here, and then I'm going to go ahead and scribe a line across the bottom of it so I can get up tight against the cabinet. We don't have a lot of space between our cabinet and the washer and dryer units. It's really snug, so we're not going to have a big overhang on this end. It'll pretty much just be flush. I may leave it, maybe an 1/8 inch or a 1/4 inch over. But other than that, it's just going to be, we'll keep it real tight. All right, so that's going to do it for this episode. I'm going to, like I said, get some stuff cleaned up, snap off some shims, and then go ahead and slide that butcher block in place and mess around with it a little bit before going home. Thank you guys for hanging out with us this weekend. Appreciate you tuning in. As always, if you have any comments or questions, be sure to leave those down below. Give us a like if you would, please. And if you are not a subscriber already, be sure to hit that subscription button so you don't miss any of the upcoming episodes. And as always, please tell your friends and family and neighbors about us. We're really enjoying this project, enjoying sharing it with you guys. So be sure to keep tuning back in, and be sure to keep spreading the word about Woodmere State Revival. We'll see you guys back here real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.